We embrace it as the perfect food, a cornerstone of a healthy breakfast. But what if this simple, everyday staple holds the potential to silently undermine our health, especially as we age? A few small, common mistakes can turn this nutritional powerhouse against us. 99% of people miss the final mistake I'll discuss, and it's the one that can silently negate all the other benefits of this incredible food. What you learn in the last few minutes is crucial. Sourcing secrets. When we think about the health impact of an egg, our mind often goes straight to how we cook it or what we eat with it. But the story begins much, much earlier. It starts with the source. The very environment the hen lived in fundamentally dictates the nutritional information that egg will deliver to your body. Think of food as data. Are you uploading a clean, powerful program or a file corrupted with nutritional gaps? The science is very clear that the diet and living conditions of a hen dramatically alter the composition of the egg it produces. A conventional egg laid by a hen in a crowded environment, fed a simple diet of corn and soy, is a fundamentally different food from an egg laid by a pasture-raised hen that foraged on grasses, insects, and worms. This isn't a small difference, it's a profound one. Pasture-raised eggs have been shown to contain significantly higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA, which is critical for brain health and reducing inflammation, two cornerstones of healthy aging. These healthier fats replace some of the omega-6 fatty acids, which, while necessary, are often overconsumed in our modern diets and can promote inflammation when out of balance. So the first mistake is sourcing blindness, assuming an egg is just an egg. By choosing a conventional egg, you are missing a massive opportunity to nourish your body's defense systems. You're getting a less potent dose of vitamins A and E and significantly less vitamin D. After 60, our body's ability to synthesize vitamin D from the sun decreases, making dietary sources absolutely critical for bone health, immune function, and mood regulation. Looking for labels like pasture-raised or omega-3 enriched isn't just a lifestyle choice, it's a strategic decision for your long-term health. It is an act of taking control of the information you feed your cells. The vitality of the animal directly translates into the vitality of the food it produces. Now, this leads us to the second part of this foundational secret, which happens right in your own kitchen. It's the mistake of nutritional separation. For decades, we were taught to fear the yolk. It was vilified for its cholesterol and fat content, leading millions to opt for egg white-only omelets and scrambles, believing they were making the healthier choice. This is a misunderstanding of how the body and food truly interact. The yolk is the life force of the egg. It is the nutrition hub, the container of some of the most powerful bioactive compounds. By discarding it, you are throwing away a treasure trove of vital nutrients. The yolk contains choline, an essential nutrient for brain health, memory, and nerve function. Our need for choline doesn't diminish with age. In fact, its role in maintaining cognitive sharpness becomes even more important. It is a key building block for our neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that allow our brain cells to communicate. Furthermore, the yolk is where we find lutein and zeaxanthin. These are two potent antioxidants that accumulate in the retina of our eye. They act like internal sunglasses, protecting our eyes from blue light damage and oxidative stress, which directly contributes to age-related macular degeneration, a leading cause of vision loss in older adults. When you eat the whole egg, you are consuming a food that has components to protect your vision. You are also getting biotin for hair and skin health and those fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, that are so crucial for our immune system, bones, and cardiovascular health. The idea that dietary cholesterol from a whole food like an egg directly translates to high blood cholesterol has been largely revised by the scientific community. For most people, the body is smart enough to regulate its own cholesterol production. It's the combination of highly processed fats, refined sugars, and a sedentary lifestyle that truly drives unhealthy cholesterol levels, not a nutrient-dense whole food eaten in its complete form. Believing the yolk is the enemy is a mistake rooted in outdated science, and it cheats your body of a synergistic package of nutrients designed by nature to work together. Cooking conundrums. The second major area where we can go wrong is in the kitchen, at the stovetop. The method you use to cook an egg can radically transform its molecular structure, turning a beneficial food into something that can potentially generate harmful compounds within the body. The mistake here is applying overly aggressive high-temperature heat. When we fry an egg at a high heat, especially until the edges are crispy and brown, we are not just cooking it, we are chemically altering its fats and proteins in a way that can be detrimental. Specifically, the cholesterol in the yolk can become oxidized. Oxidized cholesterol is far more harmful to our blood vessels than regular dietary cholesterol. It is more readily incorporated into atherosclerotic plaques, contributing to the hardening and narrowing of arteries, which is a major driver of cardiovascular disease. Think of it as introducing a damaged, jagged particle into a smooth system. It can cause irritation and initiate an inflammatory response in the lining of your arteries, one of your body's key defense systems. This high heat cooking also leads to the formation of something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These are harmful compounds formed when proteins or fats combine with sugars in a high heat environment. AGEs are exactly what they sound like. They accelerate the aging process. They cause proteins in the body to become stiff and dysfunctional, contributing to everything from skin wrinkling and cataracts to stiffening of the blood vessels and reduced kidney function. Frying and broiling create significantly more AGEs than gentle cooking methods like poaching, steaming, or boiling. A soft-boiled egg or a gently scrambled egg cooked slowly in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil is a profoundly different meal from a hard-fried egg cooked in vegetable oil until it's crispy. The latter contains a dose of these pro-inflammatory, pro-aging compounds that you are completely avoiding with the gentler method. The conundrum deepens when we consider the cooking fat itself. This is a closely related mistake, using the wrong type of oil. Many households default to common vegetable oils like corn, soy, or sunflower oil for their everyday cooking. These oils are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. While we need some omega-6s, the modern diet provides an overwhelming excess of them, which creates an inflammatory internal environment. Cooking these unstable oils at high heat not only creates oxidized cholesterol from the egg, but also damages the oil itself, generating free radicals that cause oxidative stress throughout the body. Oxidative stress is a fundamental mechanism of aging and chronic disease. It's like creating cellular rust. You are taking a pristine food and bathing it in an inflammatory, unstable medium. Instead, the solution is to choose your cooking method and your cooking fat with intention. Poaching an egg involves no added fat and uses gentle, wet heat, preserving its nutritional integrity almost perfectly. Boiling is similarly gentle. If you do prefer to pan-cook your eggs, do so at a low to medium temperature. Use a stable, health-promoting fat like extra virgin olive oil, which is rich in polyphenols and monounsaturated fats that are protective of the heart, or avocado oil, which has a high smoke point but is still composed of healthy fats. You can also use a small amount of grass-fed butter. The goal is to cook the egg through without creating that hard browned crust. It should be tender and moist. This single shift from high heat frying in vegetable oil to gentle cooking in a healthy fat dramatically changes the health equation of your breakfast. It moves your meal from being a potential source of inflammation and oxidative stress to a purely nourishing, anti-inflammatory, and health-promoting one. Dangerous duos. No food exists in a vacuum. Its ultimate effect on our health is profoundly influenced by the company it keeps on our plate. This brings us to a pervasive and very serious mistake: pairing eggs with the wrong foods. This is about synergy. The classic breakfast of eggs served with processed meats like bacon, sausage, or ham is a dangerous duo. It's a combination that many of us grew up with, a cultural staple. However, the science on this is quite concerning. Processed meats are classified by the World Health Organization as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning there is strong evidence linking them to cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. They are often loaded with sodium, nitrates, and other preservatives that are known to cause inflammation and damage the lining of our gut and blood vessels. When you pair a wonderfully nutritious egg with these foods, you are not just having a mixed meal, you are creating a biochemical conflict. The healthful properties of the egg, like its anti-inflammatory omega-3s and antioxidants, are forced to contend with a wave of pro-inflammatory damaging compounds from the processed meat. Think of it as sending in a firefighter to a small flame, but then pouring a gallon of gasoline right next to them. It creates an enormous amount of stress on your body's defense systems. The high saturated fat and sodium from the sausage and bacon also put an immediate strain on your cardiovascular system, potentially raising blood pressure and challenging the endothelium, the delicate lining of your blood vessels. The problem isn't the egg. The problem is its partner. You're taking a step forward with the egg and two steps back with the bacon. It's a nutritional tug of war that your body often loses, especially when this meal becomes a regular habit over many years. This is a clear example of how context can turn a healthy food into part of an unhealthy meal pattern. Another dangerous duo is the egg paired with refined carbohydrates. This means the white toast with margarine, the side of sugary hash browns, or the pancakes drenched in syrup. These foods cause a rapid spike in blood sugar and insulin. Over time, these repeated spikes contribute to insulin resistance, a condition that is a precursor to type 2 diabetes and a major driver of inflammation and weight gain, particularly visceral fat around the organs. When you eat an egg alongside a pile of refined carbs, you're missing the opportunity to create a stable, slow-release energy meal. The protein and healthy fat from the egg would normally help to slow down digestion and prevent a sharp blood sugar spike. But when the volume of fast-acting carbs is too high, it overwhelms the system. It's like having a good driver in a car with no brakes. The solution is to pair your eggs with powerful, health-promoting allies. Instead of processed meat, think about plant-based protein or fiber. A side of black beans or lentils provides fiber and protein that nourishes your gut microbiome. Instead of white toast, choose a slice of dense, seeded whole grain or sourdough bread. Better yet, pair your eggs with vegetables, an omelet loaded with spinach, mushrooms, and bell peppers, or scrambled eggs served over a bed of wilted kale. These vegetables provide fiber, which slows sugar absorption and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. They also provide thousands of different polyphenols, which are powerful plant compounds that act as antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. They activate your body's health defenses. Slicing an avocado alongside your eggs adds healthy monounsaturated fats and even more fiber, creating a meal that promotes satiety, stabilizes blood sugar for hours, and actively reduces inflammation. This intentional pairing transforms your meal from a potential metabolic liability into a powerful synergistic tool for building long-term health. Internal imbalance. We now arrive at the most subtle and often overlooked area where mistakes are made. It goes beyond the farm, beyond the kitchen, and beyond the plate. It has to do with your own internal environment, your unique biology. The final and most critical mistake is ignoring the context of your own body, particularly your gut microbiome. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria, and this internal ecosystem plays a profound role in how you metabolize the foods you eat. Eggs, particularly the yolks, are rich in a nutrient called choline, which, as we've discussed, is vital for the brain. However, when certain types of gut bacteria metabolize choline, they can produce a compound called trimethylamine, or TMA. Your liver then converts TMA into trimethylamine N oxide, or TMAO. High levels of circulating TMAO have been associated in some studies with an increased risk of cardiovascular events, as TMAO may promote inflammation and atherosclerosis. This is where many people become alarmed and consider cutting out eggs. But that's a superficial understanding of the science. This isn't a story about the danger of choline, it's a story about the health of the gut. A microbiome that is out of balance, a state we call dysbiosis, which is often characterized by an overgrowth of certain meat-loving bacteria and a lack of beneficial fiber-fermenting bacteria, is more likely to produce high levels of TMAO from choline. This dysbiosis is fueled by a diet high in processed foods, red meat, and sugar, and low in plant fibers. In contrast, a healthy gut, rich in diverse species of beneficial bacteria from a diet full of fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains, appears to handle choline very differently. In fact, studies show that people who eat a plant-rich diet produce significantly less TMAO after consuming choline than those on a typical Western diet. Therefore, the mistake is not eating eggs. The mistake is eating eggs while neglecting your gut health. If you are regularly consuming eggs while also eating a diet poor in fiber and plant foods, you may be creating a more problematic internal environment. The solution isn't to fear the egg. It's to build a robust gut ecosystem that can process its nutrients beneficially. You do this by actively cultivating your inner garden. Eat a wide variety of colorful plant foods every single day. Incorporate fermented foods like plain yogurt, kefir, kimchi, or sauerkraut, which provide probiotics. Focus on prebiotic foods like garlic, onions, asparagus, and beans, which feed your beneficial bacteria. When you do this, you create an internal system that can take the wonderful nutrients from an egg and use them for good without the potentially harmful byproduct. This is the ultimate form of personalized nutrition, tending to your own biology so that you can get the maximum benefit from the healthy foods you choose to eat. It is the final piece of the puzzle that 99% of people miss, transforming fear into empowerment and ensuring this ancient food remains a true ally in your journey toward a long and vibrant life. The key to nourishing ourselves as we age is not about fear or restriction. It is not about a list of forbidden foods. It is about wisdom and intention. It is recognizing that food is information and that a single food's power, for good or for ill, is determined not by the food itself, but by its origin, its preparation, the company it keeps, and the internal environment it encounters within us. The humble egg is a perfect testament to this truth. By understanding these principles, you move from being a passive consumer to an active architect of your own health, building a foundation of vitality, one mindful, delicious meal at a time. Be honest, which of these mistakes have you been making without even realizing it? For me, learning about how high heat cooking creates those harmful compounds was a major wake-up call, made me rethink my crispy fried egg habit immediately.